Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me, chatty kind of a video. It's not going to be so formal like most of my reviews. I am going to be somewhat reviewing the new Lemonade Craze palette from Maybelline. As soon as I saw this palette on Instagram, I was like, yes please. Yes, absolutely. These are not typical shades that I would normally gravitate toward individually. But when placed like this in a palette, along with the name, I was like, Lemonade Craze, I get where they're going. I really like it. Let's do it. So I'm going to be using this guy in order to get ready today. Let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the eyes. I'm going to actually, to prep and prime the eyes, I'm going to use the MAC Paint Pot. This one is in the shade Soft Ochre. I wanted to use this instead of my usual, which would have been a concealer, for this particular look because of the eyeshadow shades. I really want them to pop and I want them to show up, and in order to do that, you need something light as a base on the eyes. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this using my concealer brush from Sigma. This is the F75, and just place it on the lid. Nice thin layer. And you see how that's going to give me a really white looking base. So all the eyeshadows are going to really show up nicely. Let's see. So I've been gone for a little while from YouTube, and and I say a little while, but it's really been like 2 weeks, I think, or like a week and a half since the last time I posted. And it feels like forever. I hate it. But we're dealing with a crisis here at home. Not so much a crisis, but just everybody was getting sick at the same time. My daughter brought home a cold. Hopefully it's her last one from school. And so I wasn't able to film last weekend. Usually the weekends, if we're not out and about or doing something, like they're my filming days. And even when we are out and about doing stuff, they typically are still my filming days. I'll just treat those days, like if we have anything planned, those days will be like my review days, because I can still hang out with fam and review like a concealer or a foundation or whatever. And it's a little bit better of a review because I get to actually go out into like natural elements and wear whatever I have on. Like a normal person would, not just around the house. And so I like doing reviews, especially when we're going to be out and about. And so weekends are my filming days. And last weekend, I was sick. So, oh, that's a lot. Ooh, too much. So now I'm just going to be I was taking a brush, but that was just way too much. I'm going to be taking a little bit of translucent powder in order to set this. This is my RCMA No Color Loose Powder, just to set everything, and that way it helps out with blending. I find that when I don't set my concealers or any kind of base that I apply onto the eyes, I have a harder time with blending the eyeshadows on top. So I'm gonna be setting that there. I definitely want to use these three right here, just because that's really the only reason why I bought this. I mean, let's be honest. So these three colors I'm going to definitely incorporate into the look. However, I'm looking for a transition, and I'm not really sure which one to grab. I think I'm going to start off really light with Sherbet. Let's do that. Really nice, like light beige. And just applying that on in order to start building up eyeshadows onto the eyes. I like to start off super light and then just work my way up from there. I feel like it's just a lot easier that way. And I'm using a Sigma E40. This is a tapered blending brush. Pretty sure I've had this for like 5 years. And it's still going strong. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to Lemonade Craze. Why not? So I'm not getting a tiny little bit of kick up with this, but nothing too crazy. Oh yeah. It's like perfect time for this palette. Lemonade, summer. I'm sure that was intentional. I don't remember the last time I've had lemonade. It's been a long time. All right, next one that I'm gonna use is this one here. It's called Coral Punch. Now I'm gonna apply that along the crease, just like I did the Lemonade Craze. I'm gonna try to keep that a little bit lower. These colors, what I'm finding is that they don't have such a punch when you initially place them down onto the eyelid. However, they do build up quite nicely, which a lot of the times I like better when you can build up the eyeshadows rather than having too much at one time. Like if you go in really heavy-handed with certain eyeshadows, it's really hard to blend them out or tone them down, or maybe you didn't mean to go that heavy and there's like no going back. So it's nice sometimes when you do have eyeshadows like these that you can build up the color intensity to where it's really, really sheer and really light, or a little bit deeper and more pigmented as you go. I really wish I had more time to film. That's like my main thing lately. During the week, sometimes I do film, but it just depends on my husband's schedule. Like if he can get here pretty early, or when he's off early, then he gets here, he can hang out with the kids, and I can come upstairs and film. But filming with the kiddos around, like, that's nearly impossible. I cannot do that. There's just no way. There's just no way. Like Sullivan, who's my youngest, he's 3. He will not let me film because he'll want to be in the video. Like he'll want to be right here, and he'll want to talk to the camera, and he'll want to say things. And so if he knows that I'm filming, like he's walked in here a few times when I'm filming, and that's all he wants to do is he just wants to talk and he just wants to sit down and chat. And like, that's really nice. But when I'm trying to film a review, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? All right, next I'm gonna go in with Ice Pop. And I'm switching up my brush. This one is the E55 Eye Shading. And I switched it up because I'm going to place this on the lid. Oh yeah. And so anyway, yeah, there's just very little time for filming during the week. I wake up at around 5:50. Sometimes I'll snap really early, and some of you are sending me snaps like, what are you doing up so early? And I'm like, oh, I have no choice. But my daughter goes to school she leaves her school at 7. And I've always felt so bad. I'm like, you little 6-year-old, you have to wake up so early to go to school. But anyway, so she wakes up at 6. I wake up at 5:50. She wakes up at 6. She leaves the house by 7 with my husband, so he takes her to school. And as soon as they take off, sometimes I'll only have like, I don't know, 15 minutes to get started before Sully's up. Now I'm going to use the E25 blending, and I'm going to take Ice Pop. And I'm just going to use that in order to blend around the edges. Now that I've kind of placed it all on the lid, I want to blend out around it. Alright, so what else was I saying? Oh yeah, so I grab him and then we start our day. And it's just like typical stay-at-home mom stuff. Like if I need to run errands, I'll run errands. If he needs to be somewhere like for a doctor's appointment or extracurricular something, then I'll take him there. And then, you know, obviously do like, if anything needs to be done around the house, then I'll do that. Sully requires like a lot of attention some days. He's usually pretty good about self-entertainment when I need him to be. But, you know, if you haven't played with him like at all, then he will like demand your attention. And so I'll sit with him and we'll do anything from like playing cars to abcmouse.com. We've been doing that a lot lately, and it's for his speech development. He, a lot of y'all don't know this. I think I talked about it on Snapchat very briefly a while back, but Sully had to have surgery when he had just turned 2 years old. And he had to have surgery in order to remove the fluid buildup that was in his ears, because it was preventing him from being able to hear us clearly, and it was delaying his speech. And so not until right after, it was like right after his 2nd birthday, so right around like February of 2017, that's when he got his tubes put in his ears. And I didn't realize like how common it is. I was such a stressed out mess all the way leading up to like surgery day. Like I didn't want him to do it. I was like trying to work with him more in order to get him to, you know, be able to speak, and it just, nothing that I was doing was really working. And so I knew that this had to happen. But as a mother, when any kind of like surgery procedure, any kind of surgery procedure is going to happen, you can't help it. Like, you lose your mind, or at least I did. I looked up so many YouTube videos, like I can't even begin to tell you how many I watched about it, like about the procedure. Anyway, procedure day came and it went, and she got his tooth put in. It literally, like, the surgery lasts no more than 5 minutes. Like, we said goodbye to him, and it was so heartbreaking, and it was so hard to say goodbye while they took him to the operating room. And then he came out like 5 minutes later. The doctor's like, all right, we're done. I'm like, that's it? That's great. So yeah, did that, and now his speech has gotten so much better. And so we're working, or I'm working with him at home and just trying to develop it even further so that he can better communicate. I mean, he's pretty good at it now. He's pretty good at communicating now. And expressing himself, but I just want him to get better. You know, like, you can always get better. And so when we do ABC Mouse, like, we go over like songs and go over games and go over books, and it's really been helping. So that's been worth it. Next, I'm gonna use Strawberry Lemonade, which is this beautiful shimmery shade right here. I'm just gonna take it with my finger, and I'm gonna actually apply it right on top of the lid, just to give it a nice shimmer. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that my days fly. Sully does not nap, and he has not napped for years now. What seems to be for years now. Like, I think he dropped his naps right after his 2nd birthday. I don't know. It's been a long time. My kids, both of them, didn't really nap. Like, Sydney dropped them at like 1.5 years. I think Sully may have actually dropped them around 1.5 years as well. And it's just, oh, I love it. I love it because I don't have to, like, constantly have them napping. Like, they're pretty good all day long, not having to take a nap. Like, they don't get really grumpy or grouchy or anything like that, and I get to put them to bed at around 7 o'clock, and everything's great, and they get wonderful sleep at night. But it's just, it's very tiring when you have to constantly, like, you're go, 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 go the entire day. I have no break. All right, next I'm going to be using the medium to deep color corrector. This one's from Becca. It is their under eye brightening corrector. Just applying a little bit of that onto the under eye area, taking a little bit of a break from the eyes. And then moving on to the face really quickly. For today, I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. This one has been a new go-to favorite of mine from, it's not really the drugstore, I guess just like an affordable brand. Really love the way that this looks on the skin. I'm just going to be applying that with my damp beauty blender. And this one is in the shade Classic Tan. So anyway, I've decided that I'll probably start him on like some sort of like preschool program here in the future, and then that might give me a little bit more time during the day to like film, and then that way I can get more content out. Because trust me, it's not that I don't want to, and it's not that I just like I've run out of ideas, or I just don't really want to film, or don't really want to post. Like, if it were up to me, I would be posting as many times as like Tati Westbrook does, you know? Like, she does 5 days a week. I'm like, man, that'd be so cool if I could do that, because there's so many ideas that I have for videos. And then sometimes I forget them. I forget the ideas because I will have to wait for the weekend. And then when the weekend comes, I'm like, okay, I have this video and this video that I really, really need to do. And if I have a review, I'm like, okay, well, that's gonna be like a day long thing. So I can't like pre-film 3 videos in like one day when I have a review going on, because I take the entire day for the review. And when I have the entire day, like let's say I take all of Saturday, then I only have Sunday to do like maybe a get ready with me like now, or like a makeup tutorial, or like just something smaller. Or if I have a lot of reviews, then I'll do another review, but that'll only give me 2 videos. So trust me, I really wish that I could, and I can't wait until I'm able to. But for right now, like, Sully's a priority, Sydney's a priority, and yeah, my wants and needs are just, they're taking a back seat for a little while, all right? And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. You know, a lot of people don't understand like what kind of sacrifices stay-at-home moms make, because if it was up to me, like, I would still be working. But then my kids would have to go to daycare, and I wouldn't really be able to spend as much time with them as I'd want to. Since we are able to have me stay at home, I stayed home, and I get to watch them grow, and I get to, you know, be really involved in like Sydney's school and like Sydney's anything that she has going on at school, like I'm aware of. If she has any kind of little projects, like I'm there to help. And like I really don't think that a lot of stay-at-home moms get the credit we deserve, because we put our lives on hold for our children. Like we do. All of our wants and our needs and career goals, like they just take a back seat for a little while. And some people don't realize that. Like it's not, I never planned on being a stay-at-home mom. It just kind of happened. And although I love it and I cherish it, and I'm so thankful for my husband to be able to like take care of everything while I stay home and, you know, hang out with the kids and raise the kids, and just I'm there for their every need. I do sometimes like wonder, like, where would I be at in my career had I not left banking, or had I not left the clinic that I was working for. Like it always happens where sometimes I do consider like the what ifs. But then when I see like Sullivan or Sydney, like Sydney's reading so much lately, and I'm able to be there and like help her out with that, or like Sully with his speech, and being able to be there and like help him and do that with him on a regular basis. Like when I see that and when I am there for that, I'm like, okay, I'm good. My personal wants and needs, like that can wait for a little bit longer. I'm all right. Next for concealer, Tarte Shape Tape for today. I feel like I've neglected this guy a little bit lately. He was my first true love, this one. And now I've discovered quite a few new concealers that I'm like, you know what, I'll use you today instead. And so I don't always reach for this one anymore, although it's still a really good concealer. I've discovered other ones. And so let's see, what else is happening? Well, summer's almost here. Like I cannot even believe the fact that summer is almost here. And then Sydney will be going off to 2nd grade, and I'm like, oh, they grow up so fast. Everyone tells you the kids grow up fast, but until you have your own and you're like witnessing their growth and just moving on from like one grade to the next grade to the next grade, like that's when you really start to notice, like, holy cow, yeah, they grow up really fast. Now that I'm done with that, it is time to make sure that everything stays in place. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my RC Made with my damp beauty blender and get that under the eyes. Okay, now I'm gonna jump over to the brows. I'm going to start off by using this, the Brow Gal Brow Gel. This is a tinted brow gel. We received it in our last month's BoxyCharm box, so like April's. And I actually really like it. I've been using it quite often because it helps darken my brows before I go in with a pencil, and so I don't have to use as much of the pencil. And now I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil and just fill them in a little bit more. Try to keep them looking nice and, you know, somewhat natural. Not too incredibly defined. Okay, well that's as good as it's gonna get on the brows for now, so let's just move on, shall we? So going back to the eyes, in order to finish those up really quickly, I'm actually gonna grab my flat definer brush, which is this one. This one's the E15 from Sigma. And I'm going to start off with Ice Pop. I'm gonna place that on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take my pencil brush. This one's my E30 from Sigma. And I'm going to grab Coral Punch from that. And I'm going to blend it out using that eyeshadow shade. And then I'm also going to go back and grab Lemonade Craze. I'm going to further blend out with that one. I'm going to grab Citrus, this one right here, again with my pencil brush. And I'm going to pop that onto the inner corner. And of course, next comes lashes. For today, I'm going to be wearing false lashes in order to give me really nice dramatic eyes. The ones that I'm wearing are going to be from Pure Cosmetics. These ones are in the style Diva. I really, really, really love these lashes. Okay, and the glue that I've been using that I actually really, really like is this one from Thrive Cosmetics. It is their Infinity Waterproof Lash Adhesive. Okay, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit of mascara before I apply the false lash. This is one of my favorite mascaras that I'm using. It is from Beauty For Real. It is their High Def Mascara. I love how like the wand separates all of my lashes, and the formula really does a good job at like lengthening and thickening up your lash. Right, and now the rest of the face. So I'm going to take my Luxie 512. This is a small contouring brush. And of course, going in with my Hoola bronzer from Benefit, applying that onto the hollows of my cheeks, and then swirling the brush upward. This is going to serve as contour and as bronzer. Alright, and for blush, I'm going to be taking my MAC blush. This one is in the shade Peaches. I'm going to be grabbing some of that with my Sigma Duo Fiber brush. This one is the F15. And applying that onto the cheeks. And then for highlight, I'm going with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Light. I always tend to go back to this guy. I love this highlighter for an everyday wear because it is so light, but it still gives you such a nice dewy glow. And then last but not least, the lips. And I think I want to do something light and peachy, and so I'm going to actually be combining these two lip products. The first one being from Flower Beauty. This one is their Petal Pout Lip Liner. It's really, really light. I'm going to line the lips all over with this. So that alone obviously is way too light for my complexion, but placed underneath this guy, this one is Orange Rush Lip Gloss from Beauty For Real. It is a beautiful orange lip gloss with quite a bit of pigment. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching and for getting ready with me today using the Lemonade Craze palette. Now, do I think it's worth it? I personally do. I do plan on using this throughout these upcoming summer months just because I love the eyeshadow shades that come within this one palette. Now, if you're someone that's going to get kind of frustrated not getting pigment, like strong pigment right off the bat with a brush, then this is probably not going to be your favorite palette because it does take a little bit to build up the color intensity. But as you can see, I mean, you can get really, really nice, soft, vibrant, still looks with this palette. And I don't know, I'm in love. I'm kind of in love with the way that this look on the eye turned out. It's like soft, but it's still bright, but it's not so overpowering bright that it's like too much in your face and it's not wearable, you know? Like, this is still like very much daytime, summertime appropriateness here along the eyes. Since it is soft on the eyes, I don't mind it. Definitely going to keep using it. So those are my thoughts on the new Maybelline palette. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media platforms. I am All Beauty by Sarah with an H on Instagram and All Beauty by Sarah without the H on Snapchat and Twitter. As always, take care and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!